What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 on my RTX 4090 Ryzen 7800X 3D at 4K. So this is the first time I'm playing the game. I just finished the tutorial. I wanted to talk about some things that I found to be a bit problematic before we check out the game. Was that there was no ultra-wide support, but it is apparently coming through an update. And there's also no HDR support, which kind of sucks because HDR can elevate things a lot higher, especially on an OLED display. But anyway, let's take a look at the settings. Like I said, we're targeting 4K and I'm using my LG C1 TV. And for upscaling, you can actually use TAA, FSR2, or DLSS, which is nice. For this video, we're going to use DLAA, so DLSS at native resolution. And for the graphical settings, I've set it to the ultra quality preset, which maxes everything out. You don't have a ton of graphical settings, but you know, you have all the necessary stuff. There is no ray tracing or anything like that, which, hey, it is what it is. It would have been nice to have some ray tracing, but the game still looks really nice. We have a cloth simulation setting, which says it costs CPU performance, and I've heard this game can be quite CPU intensive. Makes sense. There's a lot of stuff going on. Anyway, let's dive into a mission. Actually, my very first mission. Let's check it out. This looks really, really cool. This game is like a testosterone fuel action, which is awesome. Love it. Alright guys, so here we go. We're gonna charge into battle. We got a crap ton of Tyranids, but we seem to be hovering around, I guess, close to 90 FPS. I guess we'll see how that holds up once we get swarmed. Oh, we dropped below 80 FPS. We're in the 70s. That makes sense with all the stuff that's happening, of course. But yeah, we're in the low 70s now. But yeah, it seems to be between 70 and 80 at native 4K with everything maxed out on RTX 4090. So that is a bit taxing, I suppose. But it's not, I don't think it's that bad, actually. I mean, if you look at the Unreal Engine 5 games that we've been getting, you run those games at native 4K, even on a 4090, you're below 60 all day long. Yeah, and this is at native 4K. So I think the game actually looks really, really nice. Look at the frame time. It's actually really, really good. No stutters. 67 FPS for 1% lows. With all the stuff that's happening on the screen, I think that game's very well optimized in that regard. Now, the graphics, yeah, I mean, they're not like Unreal Engine 5 good, really. But in some ways, they're actually even better because they're nice and crisp. Actually, there's something about them that I really like. It's like the aliasing. You know what I mean? It's not like over-sharpened or grainy or salt and peppery looking, if that makes sense. You know, the UE5 games have this, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a grainy look, like an over-sharpened look. Wukong had that a lot, although I think that's because the devs increased the sharpness way too high. But yeah, I mean, don't mean to digress and get off topic here, but I think from what I've seen, I benchmark a lot of games. I think this is very well optimized, very smooth actually. 80 FPS, all the stuff that's happening. Man, this is so intense. These big guys can be quite tough actually. But looking at the FPS though, we dropped to like the mid 60s. I actually felt that. I wasn't even paying attention to the frame rate. But you do feel that going from like 80 to the mid 60s. But I guess that makes sense with all the stuff that's happening here. But we do have DLSS, and we can check that out. We should get a nice bump. So let's take a look at DLSS Quality. We'll go ahead and give DLSS a try here. We seem to be getting around 70 FPS. We should get a nice bump to performance with DLSS. But before we do that, I usually like to try lowering the quality preset just to see if there's any performance to be gained. So just a quick look at dropping from ultra preset to the medium preset and see if we can get any more FPS. We were at around 70 FPS, and by dropping, well, we're at 85, so that's pretty good. And the game still actually looks pretty good. I think the terrain quality dropped a little bit, but other than that, man, that's not bad, right? 70 to 85, I mean, that's around 20% gain, so not bad at all. But for the sake of this video, we're gonna go back to Ultra and see what DLSS quality gets us and see how it looks too. So here we are, we're back at Ultra. We're back at 75 FPS. DLSS from native to quality. There we go. And we're up to 115 FPS, guys. At least sitting still. So, probably going to hit some CPU limitations if I had to guess. This actually works because I have a 120 Hz display. And here comes the real test. Swarms of enemies. And yeah, man. Looks like we're definitely maintaining at least 100, which is great. 95 FPS, 1% lows. What the heck is going? Why is everything green? Am I getting poisoned or something? Oh yeah! Look at my health. I can't even see my health. It's covered by my overlay. Wow, that was so close. I'm almost dead. Yeah, man, this feels a lot smoother, as you could imagine. You know, those drops to the mid 60s at worst. You definitely feel those, but this feels 100 times better. Okay, maybe not 100 times, but it feels a lot better. With 90 FPS, 1% lows, that's a very well optimized game, man. I don't care what anybody says. Like I said, I've heard that the game can be quite CPU intensive, and we are using a very fast gaming CPU. But I do have a couple older Ryzen CPUs that I might actually check out. Because, you know, most people don't have the top of the line stuff, right? So I am actually curious to see how the game runs on a 5900X, for example, or even a 3700X, which would be somewhat of a console equivalent, I guess you could call it. So we can check those out too. But yeah, DLSS quality is awesome. I mean, this looks great. The image quality is excellent. I mean, it looks like native 4K to me. I don't see any flicker or any bad anti-aliasing or anything like that. It looks very nice. I mean, volumetrics look good. Everything looks nice. Let's go ahead and try some DLSS Balance, actually, because I'm curious to see if we'll hit a CPU bottleneck. We probably will. Let's try it. And yeah, so here we seem to be CPU bound. GPU use dropped to 91%. So actually we were probably CPU bound even with DLSS on quality. I just wasn't really paying attention because this game is very, very hectic. But I'm actually impressed with the performance in this game. I don't really have any complaints in that regard. There wasn't even a shader compilation step in the beginning, so if Epic could resolve the Unreal Engine 5 stuttering and issues like these engines have, for example. I don't know what engine this game uses, by the way. I hope it doesn't use UE. If it does, then kudos to the developers. But yeah, the game is actually very smooth. Yeah, it's a bit CPU heavy, but I mean, some of these newer games seem to be these days, so it is what it is. But I think that pretty much wraps it up for this video. It's just supposed to be a quick look at the game, see how it runs. I'm overall pretty happy with it. I think it runs great. No stuttering issues, which is a plus, especially for a game like this. And DLSS and probably FSR will give you a lot of performance, which is nice. And it looks good, right? DLSS quality looked great. And balanced. This is DLSS Balanced right now. It looks really good. Nice and crisp still. But anyway, guys, hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a like and consider subscribing for more content. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.